All right, so before I start this video, or I guess this is the start, do you scrap copper wire? Do you stack copper itself? Let me know down in the comments. What is up, YouTube? This is Rick G. I am back with another video, and today we are talking about scrap copper wire. And as you can see, I have a lot of it, and we have different types. I'm going to go over the different types, how I actually got this wire and whatnot. And yeah, so that's what this video is going to be about. And basically, scrap copper wire is free money. You just got to put a little work in to get it. All right, so I guess I'll start with this bucket right here, or should I say a tote. This is a tote full. Look at this tote right here. A tote full of wire. This is all scrap that I picked up at work. I'm in construction. I'm not an electrician, but scrap wire is left laying around. It's in trash cans. It's I often ask electricians, hey, are you keeping your scrap? If they say yeah, I stay away from it. If they say no, I pick it up when I can, and oftentimes they'll say, hey, I got a bucket right here you can have. So I do everything I can to grab the copper wire that I can get. I stay away from spools because that would be stealing. I go through and I just pick up like little pieces that are left laying like this. I mean, as you can see, this was actually some older stuff here, but I mean, this is just pieces, and I grab pieces like this, and I'll go over all of that just shortly. In this tote, every day I just throw the copper wire in. Every day after work, I come home, drop it in this tote, and in this tote there are number 1 wire and number 2 wire. There are 2 different types of copper, and I'll explain all of that. So first, I'm going to separate this from number 1 copper to number 2 copper. All right, so I have it separated. Tote looks a little bit empty now, although that wire right there is a lot of weight right there in that wire. This is all going to be number 1, and this 5-gallon bucket full is going to be all number 2. Now at my scrap yard there are number 1, number 2, and I'm pretty sure the guy, I usually don't get pipe. I usually don't come across any copper pipe, but I do have a little bit this time. I actually have that and this right here, which I probably won't scrap because that's pretty good copper piping right there. But you know, like these little pieces here, I'm pretty sure he said that was number 2, which I don't understand why. Some of the copper piping does end up like this. Of course, I'd have to take that insulation off, but it's got soldering on it, so I understand why that would be number 2. Number 1, number 2, sometimes it's a 50-cent difference between scrapping price. Number 2 might be $2.50 and number 1 might be $3, so that's the difference. But I know that whenever it's something like this, that causes it to be number 2, but I don't know if it's like bare copper piping like this, so I have to check on that. But that being said, I'll show you the difference in the wires right now. All right, so here is a couple examples of what I come across in the commercial construction that I do. If I was doing industrial, there'd be a lot bigger copper, but they don't let you walk out with that stuff most times. That being said, number 1 is up here. My scrapyard explained to me if it is a solid strand that is pencil lead thick, it is number 1. Anything not as thick as pencil lead, it is number 2. This right here is a 14 gauge wire, that one right there. So it comes in this plastic coating. It's got 2 wires in it. Both of them are this thick, and that is going to be 14 gauge, and that's pretty close to exact. So that's what I base it off of. This one right here, and this white wire that has 3 in it, it's a little bit thicker, and that's going to be probably 12. So they are both number 1. Over here is number 2. Now, I don't know why pure copper and pure copper isn't number 1. I can understand, like the pipe, it had soldering on it. Number 2, it's dirty, whatever the case is. But for whatever reason, the little braids, stuff like this is only number 2 copper. So that's going to be number 2 copper. And then you'll have the solid strands sometimes, but smaller. See if I can get that up there. Smaller than the pencil lead, and they consider that to be number 2 also. All right, so pieces like this are always laying around, even if they are keeping their scrap. the small pieces, they just don't deal with. They've got 6 or 8 feet at a time instead of dealing with these 5, 6, 8, 10-inch pieces. So I pick those up all the time, and I just strip them, put a little hoop in them, put them on a ring, and look at this. I mean, they just keep adding up. What's never laying around, however, is this. This stuff is never left behind. Things like this. I do my normal thing, ask what's up, and this just recently, the guy was like, no, I don't take mine. In fact, give me a bucket, I'll fill it up for you, and here, you can have these as well. He knew that they were good, but he just doesn't deal with it. So this right here is never seen. So this is all obviously number 1, and I bet just these 3, just those 3 right there, I mean, that's close to 10 pounds. And if scrap is, if I were to scrap it, it's about $3 a pound right now. That's $30. That's $30 just for scrap. And this stuff scraps real easy too. That plastic coating comes right on off of there. So this is everything that I have scrapped already, and this is clearly all number 1 down there. This is the braided in the copper pipe. Some of it's dirty, clearly number 2. In fact, I need to clean this up. I got the little plastic part of the cap there. This is a magnetic nut right there, so I gotta clean up some of the copper pipe and whatnot. But number 2, number 1, all of this is number 1. This is number 1. This back here is not really questionable. It's not pencil lead thick, but it's borderline. So I'll probably leave this stuff out to the side and kind of show him. The guy's usually pretty cool. And I went, there we go. He's pretty cool. So he'll probably let me drop it in with the number 1. But let me put the number 1 in a bucket and see how much it weighs right now. All right, we'll put this on there real quick. This is my number 1 copper. That's 34 pounds, minus the 2.2 pound. We'll just say 2 pounds. So 32 pounds, about 32 pounds of number 1 copper. And that's, I don't know, at least $2.50 per pound of copper, at least $2.50. And that'll be whatever that is right there. All right, so just the number 1 at 32 pounds, at $2.50 is like $80. And if it was at $3, then it would be like $96. And that is just what's stripped, the number 1 that is stripped, not including the number 2, not including everything that's not stripped already. So, I'm looking at probably double that at this point, at least double that. So, a couple $100 just for picking stuff up. It does take a little time to strip it with, I don't have the machine anymore. I used to. There's another video that I had out of scrap and wire, but so now I'm razor blade to the razor blade and the wire, and it takes a little time, but it's worth it. It's free money. There are other ways to stack copper, like I got this as a gift. I don't buy copper rounds myself because clearly this is 1 ounce for a couple dollars, whereas a couple dollars of wire is a pound, so a pound or so. So yeah, so there is other ways to stack copper, but this is extremely costly to stack copper that way. There's also bars that you can pick up. You can pick up bars as well, but generally copper wire is the way I go. So I hope this wasn't too boring of a video. Let me know what you do with your copper wire, or if you get copper wire. There's other ways of scrapping, obviously. You can pick up scrap on the side of the road and then scrap it that way. But right now, I'm just sitting on this stuff. I'm just sitting on it for now. Of course, I do have buckets full of copper pennies. I guess that could be a whole another video. But yeah, so until next time, good luck to you. I hope you profit on all your searches. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, leave a comment down below. Tell me what you think. And until next time, good luck.